Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about the best 5 ways to make women angry. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are hearing this and thinking, that's wrong. You should not make women angry. But trust me, and hear me out, because I believe that the ability to say no to women is the single most important thing right now within Western civilization. It can save Western civilization, and it can save your individual life as a man, because nobody respects anybody that can't say no. And I also want to talk about some special announcements concerning the Howard Dare channel. So stick around for that. But before I get into it, let me just say thank you to everybody who's been stopping by, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, even donating. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the Howard Dare channel. There's a lot more content like this, and I would really appreciate it. Now, let's get into the best 5 ways to make women angry. Because it really is, as Voltaire said, if you want to know who controls you, look at who you're not allowed to criticize. Number 5, top way to make women angry. Ignore them. And when I say ignore them, I don't mean like not look at them when you're walking down a hallway or bump into them or stuff like that. Or like if they, ask you what time it is, don't talk to them. That's not what I mean. I mean, don't make them the focus of your life. We have been conditioned to place women's wants and needs at the top of the list of things that we need to take care of. And it's absurd because in many cases, they are tyrannical, irrational, emotional abusers that throw their emotional weight around, that throw their victim status around. And if you respond to that, you are not worthy of any respect. I get a lot of men who come in here and attack the MGTOW idea of saying no to women. And they act like they're these great guys, these, great champions that women love. Look, nobody respects somebody who can't say no. That's all there is to it. And if you can't do that, then they're gonna take control. They're gonna run roughshod over you your whole life. And eventually, it's gonna destroy your self-worth. So don't focus on women as a man. Just don't do it. This is why I can't really respect the PUA aspect, pickup artists, in dealing with things. Because even though it's a step in the right direction, it's a step away from worshiping the women, and just capitulating to them on every level, it's still making them the main focus of the man's life. I think a man would be much better off taking care of his life, his interests, his needs, and then if a woman who really, wants to be with him approaches him, or he can get together with her, that's not so bad. But the other way, where the man is chasing after the woman and just using a whole bunch of techniques and strategy to get together with her, no. Even if he does get what he wants, he's still a sycophant. He still panders. He still subjugates everything that he is and everything that he's about in order to get together with the woman. And it's just not respectable. Okay, moving on. Number 4, best way to make women angry and why it's important. Act like she is not the most important thing in the world. And I know this carries over from what I was previously talking about. Women actually believe that they and their wants and their needs are the most important thing in the world. It's absurd. And you can see why it's happened. Because so many men, so many people capitulate to their emotional blackmail. So many men base their self-worth, their position in life, based on the approval of women. And I think if you have any insight to the situation, you'll realize, as emotional tyrants, that their approval is absolutely meaningless. It can come and go at any given moment, right? Like you could come home with chocolate ice cream and she could hate your guts. You could come home with vanilla ice cream and she could think you're the greatest man in the world, right? Trust me, you're not the worst man in the world and you're not the greatest man in the world. You're just a guy with ice cream. So remember that. And don't prostitute yourself as a man to the women. I know that sounds a little crazy. Don't trade your strength, your masculinity to impress a woman who is being an emotional manipulator. It doesn't gain you respect. I get so many men who come in here and say, Howard Dare, you're terrible. Like, you don't respect the women and you don't think they're the most important and most beautiful things in the whole world. And it's like, no, I don't. Okay? I think a man taking care of his own life is more important than the woman that he's with. And I feel sorry for the man who chases after the woman in order to gain some sort of internal validation. And understand that if you don't map out your own internal value structure, your own morality, your own ethics, that you will assume the practices, customs of the people around you. And regarding women, it's toxic, it's poisonous. Men have been shamed for being men. Masculinity itself is under attack. So in order to keep the women happy, the man has to actually subjugate and belittle himself in her company, in her presence. Because she will adopt the views of the majority of the people around her. And if the man disagrees with her, she won't have anything to do with him. Sometimes when I'm shopping, I see a lot of men at the grocery store talking on their cell phones. And you can tell just by the way they're acting that they're checking with their significant other, a woman, and they're apologizing because maybe like there's not a product that she was looking for. Like she sent him to the store to buy a loaf of, pumpkin bread or something, and there's no pumpkin bread. And he's calling her and he's saying, it's not here. What am I going to do? Can I come home without the pumpkin bread? And you can tell she's saying, no, you cannot. Don't come home without the pumpkin bread. And to just see a full-grown man acting like that, and it affects everything within the man. It's not like there's this big, strong, healthy man that's confident with bright eyes, who's aware of the situation around him and he's on the phone talking to his woman. No, that's not what it's like. I'm sorry. It's like a fat, unsure, confused, unaware, unhealthy male who basically looks more like a female because he's soft and fat and round, is panicked and emotionally scared. And he's like checking with his controller, what do I do? What do I do? And it's sad that men have been brought to this stage simply to have the basic approval of women. And you can understand why it's happened, right? Because the society and the culture around them have overplayed, this particular butt. And now the men are, between a rock and a hard place. Physiologically, they want to please the women. They want to get together with the women. Emotionally, psychologically, they're toxic, they're destructive, they're abusive, and they don't even take care of themselves as they used to. Okay, moving on. Number 3, best way to make women angry and why it's important. Disagree with her. Disagree with her on anything, and you will be surprised. And do it politely. You know what I mean? Don't be like, F you, you're stupid. No, be like, I hear you and I respect your view, but my view is different. You can try this with anybody. You know what I mean? You don't have to reserve this for women, but women, it will drive them crazy. I mean, you'll be amazed, right? Like if she says, I like chocolate ice cream, and you say, well, I hear you. I appreciate that. A lot of people like chocolate. I like vanilla. Just watch what happens. She will give you a double take. You know what I mean? She'll look at you and she'll look away and then she'll look back at you like, what did you just say? And she will fold her arms and she will pout out her lips. She will set her jaw. She will narrow her brow. She will take a deep breath and let it out. Very upset. Just try it on anything, even something trivial. Disagree with her and stand your ground. Don't be a jerk about it. See what happens if you try to assert the fact that you are an individual with your own wants and your own needs, and they might not always coincide with hers. Give it a try, but be prepared that it's the end of your relationship. It will be the end of your relationship. It might not end right then and there, but it's the end of your relationship. She will cheat on you. She will do something to you to make you pay for that. Like if you stand your ground and you're firm on, this is my opinion and it disagrees with yours and I have a right to do this, be prepared for that relationship to end. And you can try this with other people as well on minor little things. Okay, moving on. Number 2, best way to make women angry and why it's important. Question them. That's it. Just question them. So you don't even have to disagree with her now. Okay, you don't have to say, well, I like vanilla ice cream. Just ask her why she likes chocolate ice cream. That's all. Again, she will give you a double take. She'll look at you, she'll look away, she'll look back at you. She'll fold her arms, she'll let out a breath of exasperation, frustration. And keep your attitude, be cool about it, just smile and say, yeah, why do you like chocolate ice cream? Make her explain why she feels the way she feels. Make her validate her emotions, her behavior, her treatment. Ask her, why do you treat me like that? Why do you act that way towards me? It hurts my feelings. Okay, and you don't be angry about it. Like, don't be like, I disagree with you. Don't do that. Just say, when you insult me, it hurts my feelings and I'd like you to stop doing it. That's it. Give it a try. Why do you do that? Or why do you do that? Can you stop doing that? Go ahead, give it a try. But like number 3, be prepared for the relationship to end. Why do you do that? Try something like that. Or how come every time I say hello, you say go to hell? Try that. Just question her. And you will see. You will really see who's in charge, who's in control. And, the means by which this is done. I would suggest you try to correct one of her mistakes, but it's too dangerous. Like if she says, Lady Gaga is the greatest musician of all time, and you say, no, she's very popular, but I think Mozart or Beethoven might be a little worthy. You see what happens. See, you're dealing with an emotional child, and a manipulative, abusive one at that. If you can't do these things with a person, then you are being emotionally controlled by that person. These are just, basic human behaviors. You stating what you like, you asking people to back up what they say, you asking people to be considerate of your feelings, not in an authoritative, overbearing way. And you need to be able to do this. Okay, this isn't like, oh, Howard Dare is crazy if you did that with women. No, you need to be able to do this. If you can't do this, people will walk all over you. And you will lose all self-respect, and you will have no motivation, and you will dread being around them or interacting with them in any way. So it's important that you can stand up to women and assert your own views. That's all you have to be able to do, right? Like, you don't have to get other people to go along with you. You just have to be able to not be forced into going along with them. See if you can do it. I don't think you'll be able to do it. Okay, moving on. The number one best way to make women angry and why it's important: fail to defer to her emotions. Anytime she tries to use an emotional manipulation, just smile and ignore it and watch what happens. She will make an emotional appeal to you multiple times. She will tell you how it makes her feel when you do something, with the idea of controlling your behavior. And understand that the only reason why this works is because if you don't go along with it, she is then going to use her emotions to abuse you, to control you, to manipulate you. She's going to say you don't love her. She's going to say you're going to make her cry. She's going to say you're a bad man. She's going to say other men always do what the women want. And most men will capitulate. Most men will say, I'm going to the store right now and I'll call you when I get there to tell you what ice cream flavors they have. So the guy's standing there reading off the flavors, right? Because they don't have walnut pistachio flavor, right? They're all out of it. It's like, will you accept some coconut pineapple ice cream? Right? And the guy, he's in big trouble, right? So the man has to go to work in the morning, and deal with a really difficult job. But in the evening, he's standing there reading out the ice cream. Types of ice cream are available to the woman. So if you can do this, you have the ability to be an individual, a self-respecting individual. If you can't do this, if you can't say no to people, if you can't stand up for yourself, if you can't assert your own wants and needs, why would you imagine that anybody would respect you? They won't. They're with you because they can control you. Not because they like you, not because they respect you, but because they like what you do for them and they're able to get you to do it. All you have to do is go your own way. That's all you have to do. And I don't mean like you break off the relationship and you don't have anything to do with women. I mean, all you have to do is find your own way in life and then go that way. And there will be the people that you come in contact with that are going to try to take you off course, put you on their course. And if you don't do it, they're going to become abusive. You have to be able to stand up to those people, to avoid them, to not, cave in to their wants and their needs. Western civilization is now stuck. We are at a crossroads. I don't think you can build an intelligent society without being really fair to the women and getting their cooperation. Unfortunately, when this tendency goes too far, the women and a kind of victim class of people that are using a threat narrative, like they're oppressed, and you feel compassion for them. See, we have empathy. We feel sorry for people. And then if it goes too far, it's taken advantage of. And they, insist that you develop some sort of, proto-communistic state where they get all their free stuff because their life is so hard, but their life isn't so hard. And if you base your decisions based on people's emotional manipulation, then you become a pawn, you become a fool, you become a puppet, you become an instrument, a means to their ends. Don't allow yourself, you can't respect yourself. If you allow yourself to become the means to someone else's end, you will lose respect for yourself. That's what you need in order to move forward in life. That's what motivates a person. So regarding the Howard Dare channel, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been showing extra support to the Howard Dare channel, given the fact that, I can't do my live streams and I was really relying upon the super chat to sustain the Howard Dare channel. A lot of you people have really stepped up over on PayPal, making donations to the Howard Dare channel and over on Patreon. And I really appreciate it. It's very touching, to know that I can express a situation over here, and then within a few days, people start responding. And I'll tell you though, and this might help you out and give you a little insight to the situation, I get upset, you know what I mean? Like I'm here in a difficult situation and I express the situation and it takes a week, it takes 3 or 4 days before people respond. And I lose hope, but I gain hope from interacting with you guys and getting your feedback and knowing that you support the Howard Dare cause. I've gotten a lot of great messages lately telling me to, keep fighting and, keep doing the good work. So I really appreciate it. And, your support means everything to the Howard Dare channel. that's what this is about. It's about, helping people, helping men rather, deal with this really difficult situation. And to know that you guys appreciate, what I'm doing here and that you value what I'm doing here, it makes all the difference in the world to me. It really is what motivates me to keep coming back and to, keep trying. So I just want to let you know that I really appreciate you guys and all your support. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.